This just in, to CNN, authorities have confirmed a shark attack this afternoon just off Surfside Beach, Texas. A 15-year-old boy was in waist-deep water when the shark bit him on the legs. The boy hit back with his hands. The shark bit them too. He was airlifted to a hospital. He's in stable condition with lacerations, but they are not life-threatening injuries. You're looking at pictures from our affiliate KPRC of the beach in question from earlier today.
Do you know about local shark species?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Yeah, that's what I see on TV.
Oh, okay. And how do you feel about sharks? Do you like them or no?
I'm scared of them. Don't like sharks?
No. So, do you know much about like local shark species?
No. Nope. Nothing about them.
Well, how do you feel about sharks in general?
Don't like them. The sooner they stay further out in the water, the better off I am.
So you don't like the idea of them for like safety reasons?
Yeah,
or?
yeah. I mean, they're fine as long as they stay out in the ocean, further out. Just don't come inward.
Yeah. Well, have you had any personal experience with sharks at aquariums?
No, sure haven't. No.
According to the regulations placed by the Texas Parks and Wildlife Foundation in 2009, anglers in Texas are only allowed 1 shark per person per day with a 2-shark possession limit. There are also minimum size limits as to what can be caught, depending on the species, such as 24 inches total length for blacktips and Atlantic sharpnoses and 64 total inches for bull sharks and hammerheads. They also have a list of prohibited shark species such as the dusky, longfin mako, and white shark that cannot be caught whatsoever. If a shark is caught and it cannot be identified, it is required to release the shark back without removing them from the water. We interview local fishermen for their opinions on the current regulations.
I think they'll let the state handle it instead of the federal government. The federal government can't even manage a roll of toilet paper. The state government does good. The federal government ain't got brain one.
What kind of sharks have you caught?
Bull sharks, tiger sharks, hammerheads, spinners, blacktips, sandbars, makos. Seen 2 thresher sharks, 1 greater hammerhead. But our main species that we catch are sandbars, spinners, blacktips. That's our main product. We see a couple tiger sharks here and there, but not too many.
How do you feel about like current rules and regulations regarding shark fishing?
I think they need to be reassessed myself. The 1 per boat, I'd say probably 3, maybe 5. But there's plenty of fish, like the sandbar sharks. Federal waters you can keep them, and state waters you can't.
Do you sell a lot of shark fishing?
Yeah, shark fishing a lot this year.
Oh, okay. And do you eat shark yourself, or do
Personally,
you shark fish?
only if it's makeup.
Oh, okay. Why mako?
Because a shark stinks badly. I was raised around sharks, and sharks smell disgusting. And that's the only reason.
Where were you raised?
Well, my father shark fished my whole life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then you must know a lot about the shark regulation rules around here.
Some.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I will tell you there's a million different kinds of sharks. And identifying them is almost impossible. Except for just the basic ones.
Hey, Ben.
The sharks smell really bad, and I hate it.
She gets them in the knee for
How do you have any feelings towards the current rules and regulations? Do you think they're too relaxed or too strict?
Well, I think on a party boat situation, I think they're too strict. 1 fish, it's ridiculous. I don't think people need to, kill all the sharks or anything, but I think that's just
Sharks have a huge role in the ecosystem. They are important keystone species in that they are apex predators that keep the ecosystem in balance. They help other populations stay healthy and help strengthen their gene pool by preying on the weak and unhealthy individuals. Unfortunately, sharks are vulnerable because they are a case-selected species. They are density dependent, have slow growth rates, late sexual maturation, low fecundity, and they have few offspring with each litter. In other words, they are being fished faster than they can reproduce.
How do you think sharks are viewed in our society? And do you agree with the general consensus or disagree?
I would imagine that they're probably viewed as dangerous, and I think they're probably just misunderstood. I mean, they're wild animals and they need to be treated with respect, just like anything, like any wild animal. We come into their area, they're going to be protecting their area.
And what do you feel is the general, or is the cultural significance of sharks?
That's a tougher question. I would imagine it depends on the culture. Certain cultures probably look at them as important to their culture. Other cultures look at them as food or danger or, game, sport. So it just probably depends on where you're coming from, which culture you're looking at.
How society views sharks today is in large part due to the way the media portrays them, and it all began with the classic 1975 film Jaws. It was because of this movie that people feared going into the ocean. In fact, reduced beach attendance that year was attributed to it, as well as an increased number of reported shark sightings.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
There is also a great demand for their fins. In some Asian cultures, a bowl of shark's fin soup is a status symbol of great wealth. Unfortunately, this high demand for their fins is responsible for the overfishing of sharks through shark fisheries. According to the IUCN, approximately 30% of shark species are on the threatened or near threatened list towards extinction. With the rapidly declining population of some shark species, there have been efforts made to outlaw shark finning. On January 4, 2011, President Obama signed the Shark Conservation Act of 2009 bill into law, which prohibited the practice of shark finning in the U.S. However, fishermen are still doing this illegally in Texas, which prompted Representative Eddie Lucio III to propose Senate Bill 572, which would outlaw the act of buying and selling of shark fins. Unfortunately, the bill was killed on the Senate floor on May 20, 2013. Even though that was a loss for shark conservationists, there are still many groups out there that dedicate their lives to protecting these sharks. Some examples are the Global Shark Conservation Campaign, the Shark Specialist Group, the Shark Life Conservation Group, and the National Marine Fisheries Services.